All right, fourth chakra is I am love and I am loved. I am connected to the source of love. The false belief is I need to earn love from others and from the divine. So again, a lot of this is on an unconscious level. It's when you shine the light of consciousness on your life, and it's usually when you get to a place where you're tired. You're just tired because you're running out with your energy. And the thing about it is, some of us were raised in specific religions that we had to work for love, from whether it's from God or from whatever. But that is a definite false belief, because we were born into this world as love. Look at these little children playing. They're love, you know. We were born as love, and we've forgotten that. And in one way or the other, being raised where you have to do this or else God will get mad, or you should do this or else whatever. All of those false, they're all false beliefs, because we already are loved and we're loved. Center of the chest, the heart, the lungs, the breast. Heart disease, lung problems, breast cancer. Those are the ones. I have people that come in here with a continuous bronchitis, for instance. You know, they get better, they, you know, feel better, and then they get bronchitis again. All of that in the lungs is usually about grief and sorrow. Okay, so the lungs talk about grief and sorrow. It could be death of a loved one or ending a relationship. Okay, and it could have been something in the past that is still stirring in there. The other thing that I have just become aware of, because I'm always learning myself, is a grieving of what you expected something to be. A grieving. It's actually a grieving or a sorrow of what you expected something to be. Okay? Because a lot of times in our mind we see this scenario and we think it should be this way, and it doesn't happen, and we go, oh my God, you know, that, wow, that's like a sorrow, and it can hit hard. And my personal example would be, because sometimes you can actually feel it in certain if you're sensitive to your body, when things happen, you can actually feel it in certain parts of your body. And I'll give you an example, because I'm going to be vulnerable. And I was, not long after I had graduated from medical school, I had a offer to come into put my practice inside of another practice going on. And oh God, you know, I was all excited because it was a great place and everything else. And I was shown the room and, you know, all this other stuff. And so not long after I was there, I was moved to a little teeny room, and I couldn't even get 2 people in there. And I went, my goodness. And you know, the first thing you want to think is, what's wrong with me, right? And so I was like, oh, I just can't believe this. And I remember riding to work one day, and I felt my heart, like I could just feel it, like it was a grieving in there, like a sorrow of, I expected this to happen, and this is what happened. And it was nothing personal about it. It was just that this particular person had a lot of fears going on with things in their life, and so they wanted me to get out to another room. But anyway, bottom line is, be aware that sometimes we even have sorrow or grieve over maybe the way a person should be or a situation should turn out. Okay? And it's only us that can forgive that person, okay, and be free. It's us that gets the freedom when we forgive. But in forgiveness, there is, I heard this from Brene Brown also, in the forgiving, there's also a grieving and a death there of the way you expected the person to be, or the way you expected the circumstance to be. And I say this only because there is true freedom in forgiveness, okay? And it always starts with us. Well, he did this and he did that. No, you're the one that's going to do the work. It's going to start with you, you know. Be the change you want to be. So, all right. Fifth chakra, the throat. I express my truth freely. What I say doesn't count. And again, sometimes on an unconscious level. Throat, mouth, teeth, neck, thyroid. The main thing with this one here is not speaking our truth. That's the main thing with this one here, is not speaking our truth. And what I mean by that is a lot of times we want to kind of keep things inside, or we don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, and it keeps happening over and over again. Then we get resentful if we don't speak our truth. So I tell people, always speak your truth from that place of love, okay? Always speak our truth from that place of love. It is so freeing to speak your truth. I have a lot of people that are hypothyroid, and 80% of hypothyroidism happens to be an autoimmune condition called Hashimoto's thyroiditis. So what happens, that's another thing, you've heard of autoimmune diseases. So what happens is the antibodies attack the thyroid or other parts of the body. It's an autoimmune. Okay, so again, this is from clinical experience that I've seen, is a lot of times what we do is we attack ourselves, you know. That was stupid, or why did I make that mistake, or whatever, the old record. But again, it's just becoming aware of it. And if you need to, you feel yourself, if you need to speak your truth, speak your truth, because you're the one that's suffering if you don't. It stays in there, and then you get resentful, okay? That makes sense? Yeah, we all do it, you know. It's about awareness and consciousness. We all do it. Oh, I love this one. That's sweet. It's everything, you know. I trust, you know, I am. That's so beautiful. I am divine. Wisdom and knowledge, this is the third eye. It's where reasoning, intellectual abilities, intuition, between the eyebrows, the eyes, the ears, pituitary, all of this. It includes visual and hearing impairments. And you know, the chakras are related to each other. In other words, when you have intuition coming in, you know, the voice of your soul, our soul is connected to the divine. When you have that intuition, that knowing, especially mothers, I find, are real sensitive to their kids. They know when something's going on. Y'all had that before? And you know. And so you trust that it's connected to the heart, okay? It's connected to the third chakra. In other words, if you don't trust in yourself, remember the third chakra of trust, trusting in yourself. If you don't trust in yourself, then you'll just say, oh, that's my imagination, you know, and you won't honor your intuition. So honor your intuition when it comes in. Trust in yourself. I tell you, I'm so inspired by people that I see over here. I am so inspired because I hear a lot of people say, well, I've been here and here, and you know what, I've tried this and that, and I say, you know what, you're such an inspiration to me because you've tried so many things, but you're trusting in yourself that something's going on with your body, and it's not just made up, you know, you're trusting yourself. So I just want to tell you guys that you guys are an inspiration to me, you know, the tenacity, the perseverance to keep trusting in yourself. If there's anything that you've learned today, just continue to trust in yourself. 7th chakra, the crown, that's the last one here. The extension of the divine, top of the head. Some people actually feel like energy in different places on their body, especially on top of the head. So, I want to kind of share something about that also, is that this one, for me personally, reminds me of, I was going through a really hard time not long after I had graduated from medical school. And you know how you get at certain places in your life where you kind of just, okay, what am I doing here? So we all go through it, right? Because we're human, right? So anyway, I can remember I heard it was like an impression, not like this loud sounding voice, but like an impression. And the impression was, I am in you. You are in me. We cannot be separated. That was the divine. That's all about the 7th chakra, our relationship, and we feel it. When you feel that love and peace, that's it. And that's part of who you are. Those are the little children, all connected to the divine. So these are some of the tools working with energy medicine, acupuncture. I use that. It promotes relaxation and flow of energy. Chi is what it's called, the flow of energy. EFT. So EFT is emotional freedom technique. And what it is, it's tapping. You tap on certain meridian points. Okay, I'm going to do a video about it, and I'm going to put it out there, and you guys can look at it. And you tap on certain meridian points, and what it does, it helps the energy to start moving. And it's pretty miraculous, because what happens a lot of times is things come up that you haven't thought about in a long, long time. And you may just cry about it or breathe it out or whatever. It's stuff that needs to move on. So all emotion is energy in motion. That's all emotion is. And when we've suppressed it so much and it's in our tissue causing physical problems, when you go through this tapping, what happens is you start releasing these pin-up emotions. And freedom and love can take that space. So it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing. And the breath assists us in moving the emotion. I always say the breath is one of the quickest ways to release stress, because when you breathe, just think about it. I know it sounds simple, but it's profound. When you breathe a breath, you're breathing the breath of God. When we stop breathing, what happens is we're out of here. That's pretty profound, right? So the breath is so important, because what it does is it calms the nervous system, okay? And when stuff comes up, an emotion comes up, observe it, just observe it without judging yourself, and release it by the breath, okay? It's amazing. You can come into a lot of balance. And then the other thing is intuitive guidance. I believe that we all have intuition, and I use that here in my practice. I think it really helps when you're especially when you're in a situation you're thinking, there's a lot of stuff going on here. What would love do here? What would love do here? That's the question I ask. And I call it miraculous, some of the things that happen, because your soul knows already what it wants to do. And then when you validate it with another soul, miracles happen, okay? And that's why I love this so much, working with energy medicine. Okay, in conclusion, it's all about coming back to your magnificent self. That's what it's about, self-love. That's what it's all about. Because that's what brings in, again, I've been seeing people for many years looking at the physical, and one thing I've noticed that people become so much more self-empowered and have so much more energy and freedom when we look at what's behind all of the physical problems. And then what I tell people is that all of this leads to, it's not only freedom, it's not only freedom in just feeling well-being emotionally and psychologically, and also healthy with your body. It's not only that, but you make room when you release the old. There's space there, and you make room for your soul's passion, okay, on this earth. And that's why I'm so excited about this. Your soul has a passion and a purpose. And sometimes when people come here, they will say, you know what, I feel like this time I need for myself because there's something coming up that I need to be doing. And to honor yourself first is the best thing that you can do to make that space for yourself. So I really enjoyed talking to everybody here today, and thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.